Hey guys, it's Amy here, and today I bring you the TBR tag. I'll put all the questions and I'll link the creator down below, so let's go. I'm rhyming. Got a few questions here, so grab yourself a drink. I don't know if you can see that, the blackest of black coffees because we ran out of milk here today. It's a sad day, so I've had to chuck a load of sugar in it so I can actually drink it. But hey ho, let's go. God, I'm rhyming again. Question number 1 is, how do you keep track of your TBR pile? Easy peasy. I use Goodreads. I don't use any kind of spreadsheet or anything. Goodreads is my bae. I love it so much. Any book that comes into my possession, I scan it, I put it straight onto my to-read shelf on Goodreads. So that to-read shelf on Goodreads is all of the books that I currently own that I have not read yet. I don't use that shelf as a wish list or like a books that I hope to read in the future. It's only the books that I own on there. I have a wish list on Amazon, which is completely separate. Question number 2 is your TBR mostly print or ebook? It's all print because I feel like ebooks are a flippin' rip-off. Like, why would I pay the same price for a book and just have it, like, there's no physical evidence that you've got that book. Like, I don't like that at all. I think, like, I'm being ripped off. I think if you buy a physical book, you should be able to have the option of paying a little bit extra to get an e-copy of it as well, if you want it. I don't think ebooks are... No. Saying that though, I do read ebooks. I just get them from my library's ebook online source, which is completely free. And so I feel like I don't know why you would pay to have something on a Kindle or something if you could just get it for free from your library and then just give it straight back, and then it's not taking up like memory or anything. I don't know. I don't get ebooks at all. Question number 3 is, how do you determine which book from your TBR to read next? Well, I don't really have like a scientific method for it. I just kind of look at my shelves and think, like, what do I fancy? I guess at the beginning of each month when I make my TBR videos, I do go around and I like pick out like certain books, because obviously like my challenges this year, I want to read like 1 non-fiction book a month, 1 classic a month, and so I've got these certain things, so I know roughly like what kinds of books I want to read each month. I just then pick out each one and then I make my TBR video, and so far this year I've been kind of sticking to these TBRs. I think having this like certain amount of control in my life when like everything else is a bit like makes me feel quite happy, like knowing like, right, these are the books I'm gonna read this month and I'm gonna stick to that, and at the moment it's really working for me. But then again, in 6 months I may absolutely hate having a strict TBR, so who knows, you'll just have to keep an eye on me and see what's going on. Next is a book that's been on your TBR list the longest. Right, I got that book off down here. I'm filming loads of videos today and I literally have like a sea of books around me, and it's like, right, which pile is this video? Over here. So the book that's been on my TBR the longest, I think, is Atonement by Ian McEwan. I feel like it's been on my shelf the longest anyway. Like, I'm sure there's a book that's been on here longer, but this one, I also think it's a book that I would really enjoy because it's World War II related. I just watched the film, which is what this cover is from. Hate this cover. Don't like it at all. So I have watched the film, so I wonder whether that's the reason why I haven't picked this one up, because I already kind of know what's going to happen. Maybe I'll read it one day, we'll have to see. The next is a book you recently added to your TBR. Oh, okay, I can do this because it's actually a book that I didn't show in a book haul, because I didn't do a book haul in August because I only bought about 4 books because I'm trying to move house. So at the moment I'm probably in the midst of moving house or at a festival, I don't know, I'm not sure when this video is going up. Anyway, one that I've recently bought, which no one's seen yet, unless you follow me on Instagram because I showed it on there, is War and Turpentine by Stefan Hertmans? This one I bought when I was on a little trip to see Sophie where she lives. I bought it during Independent Bookshop Week, so that was a while ago. Again, this is a World War II related book. You guys know that I love these kind of books, so I'm sure you're not surprised to see it. Also, I think this cover is gorgeous. Like, I love landscapey, flowery, like this kind of stuff. So I'm really hoping this is going to be one that I really enjoy. I will let you know. Next is a book in your TBR strictly because of its beautiful cover. Now this one isn't on the TBR just because of its cover, it's in the TBR because of the author, but the cover is very, very beautiful, and that is What Is Yours Is Not Yours by Helen Oyeyemi. So I'm reading all of Helen Oyeyemi's books this year, and this is a short story collection that came out last year, so it's not technically a novel by her, but I did really want to read it because I'd heard so many people talk about it and say that it was a really good thing. When I saw the paperback edition and how beautiful it was, I hope you can see that, it's really shiny, I just couldn't resist. So actually, I didn't even read the back of it. I don't know what this book is actually about. I just know that a lot of people like it. And when I saw the cover, I was like, well, it's got to be done. If I'm reading all of Helen Oyeyemi this year, I may as well read her short story collection as well. So hopefully it's a good one. Next is a book on your TBR that you never plan on reading. I can't answer this question because I don't keep books if I don't plan on reading them. You've seen my unhaul videos. I'm pretty strict when it comes to keeping books. Like, I don't have unlimited amount of space in the places that I live, and so if I don't plan on reading it, I don't buy it or I just get rid of it. Next, an unpublished book on your TBR that you're excited for. I've got a good answer for this. I even have a little thing for the cover. This is a little sample. So this is The Book of Dust by Philip Pullman, which is coming out in October this year. I am so excited about this. I have been a big fan of Philip Pullman since I was a little girl because I read his Dark Materials when I was like 11 or 12 years old, and I've reread them many times since that age, and so this is a book that like fans of Philip Pullman have been waiting for literally for years. So this is undoubtedly the book that I'm most excited for to be published this year. Have you guys read this? Are you a fan of Philip Pullman? Do you like his Dark Materials? Come chat to me in the comments. What's your favourite book? Who's your favourite character? Tell me down below. Next is a book on your TBR that everyone else has read but you haven't. So my answer for this one is Human Acts by Han Kang. So I read The Vegetarian last year, I believe, and didn't love it. Like, I didn't like, oh, I wasn't too sure. I think it was a bit too like not my kind of thing, I guess. And so I've kind of been putting off reading this one, although people like rave about it, but people raved about The Vegetarian and I didn't love it. So I don't know, what do you guys think? I definitely want to give it a go. I've had it on my shelf for a while now, so hopefully I will read it at some point soon. Next question is a book on your TBR that everyone recommends to you, and that one is Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. You all know that I love World War II related novels, so I always get this. Whenever I speak about World War II books, I always get this one recommended to me. So I bought it a few months ago and hopefully we'll read it by the end of the year. I try not to read too many war books in 1 month because it definitely makes me feel a bit like on edge if I read like more than one, so one a month I think is okay. So hopefully by the end of the year I will read this one. Next question is a book on your TBR that you are dying to read, and that one is Autumn by Ali Smith. I've put this one on a couple of TBRs this year, but I definitely want to read it either in September, October, autumn time, pretty fitting, before the next book, Winter, comes out in this kind of series. Also, this one has been longlisted for the Man Booker Award, so I'm very much interested in seeing what it's all about because people have been raving about it, so we'll have to see. And the final question is, how many books are on your Goodreads TBR shelf? As it stands today, when I'm filming this video, I currently have 138 books on my TBR shelf on Goodreads, which means there are 138 books in this room with me that I haven't read. Woohoo! I feel like that's an okay number to have. It's not like tons. I definitely know there are people out there who have like hundreds and hundreds more on their TBR shelf than me. I just don't have enough room for that number of books. Also, there are people like Sophie at Portal and the Pages who managed to get their TBR down to like barely anything, which I find super impressive. So yeah, who knows, maybe one day I'll get it down to like 10 books, but I don't know. I kind of like having a lot of books that I haven't read to peruse. So anyway, that's the end of the tag. Let me know down below your answers to the question. As always, I will leave links to Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, everything I've mentioned today down below. I hope you're all having a fantastic day and I will see you soon. Bye!